Guys, listen, one of the best investments that you can make in yourself is changing your routine. So, I just got back from a trip to Phoenix where I was visiting a friend of mine. And I've talked about this a number of times, but every time I go on a trip somewhere, I come back with a completely different mindset, a higher standard for myself, the people around me, what I want out of my career, what I want out of my health. Everything radically improves. And I have found that if you want to change your life, guys, you're not going to do it from the same place that you're at right now, in the same environment with the same people around you doing the same shit. And you think that you're going to, put some hack into your life. You're going to watch some video and add some habit to your life and everything's going to radically change. And it just doesn't work like this because here's the thing. Most of the time, when you put these habits into your life anyways, you don't stick with them. And you know this, right? You're like, you know what? I'm going to start going to the gym hardcore. Or, you know what? I'm going to build this business. You know what? I'm going to get focused. I'm going to cut out the crap. I'm going to get locked in. All this kind of stuff that guys say they're going to do. And then they don't ever actually end up following through with it because they never actually change their routine. Their environment stays completely the same. And so their natural behavior just goes back into the autopilot kind of habitual way that they were living. You got to understand that your subconscious mind is driving what's happening in your life. This is a combination of basically the habitual behaviors and experiences and emotions that you feel on a day-to-day basis. And this puts you in this sort of rut that you stay in for sometimes years at a time where you're just doing the same shit, and trying to change things and improve feels really odd and unfamiliar, and it's difficult for you to get yourself to stick with things. And I have found that genuinely the only way to really make a permanent change to your behavior, it's not about content. I mean, I hope you guys get value out of this content, but really it's not about my content. It's not about anybody's content. Nobody can really save you in that way. It is genuinely about you have to do something to shock yourself out of the normal behavior pattern that you've been living in. And so I went on this trip to Phoenix, and I went out there with the sole intention of really, obviously seeing my friend, but really locking in on my business, being the supplement business that I'm working on starting. I really wanted to make a lot of progress on that. And so basically what we did the entire trip, we worked out, we worked a crap ton. I met with some other guys who are in e-commerce doing business, things like that. We did a couple fun things, went shot some guns, things like that. But for the most part, it was really about locking in and elevating my standards for myself, seeing a new way to live, getting some new perspectives. And it completely changed everything for me, guys. Like, I got so much done for the supplement business. I've got the samples ordered. They should be here in the next couple of weeks. We've got the logo pretty much done at this point. Got a bunch of other marketing kinds of things done. I got a ton done. And my whole perspective and mindset and the way I started carrying myself completely changed because I went on this trip. And I had this experience recently when I went to Dallas on the Life Max trip. And then before that, I went to Phoenix again back in April. I had the same experience. I went to Miami in January or February, and I had the exact same experience happen. Every time that I leave my hometown and I go on some trip, my mindset completely elevates. And you guys need to start doing these kinds of things in your life. If you want to change yourself, if you want to get to the next level, you got to shock yourself out of your routine existence and do something that's going to get you to the next level. And I put down a few key action steps that I wanted to give you guys in this video that could help you with doing this so that you can do it more tactically. And I've got 5 things written down here that I wanted to briefly discuss. This is going to be a pretty quick video that can give you some ideas of how you can change up your routine, because this is not about, oh, I'm going to change the time I wake up. Because guys do that kind of shit. You've probably done that before. You're like, I'm going to wake up early, and then you do it for 2 or 3 days, and then you go back to your normal wake time. And why is that? It's because you didn't actually change your routine. You think that changing your routine is changing your bedtime or changing your what time of day you work out. That's not it. This is about changing your environment, which is really what your routine is. Your routine is the regular experiences you're having on a daily basis. It's not what time you wake up. That's a very shallow understanding of routine. We're trying to change and basically shock you out of your daily routine of life, the places you go, the things that have you stuck in a rut, and a certain standard and expectation that you have for your life. Once we break out of that, you can elevate to the next level and start holding yourself to another level. So the first one that I have on here, these are 5 things that you can do to change up your routine in a meaningful way that will actually change your life for the better. First one, switch up on your day ones. You heard me right on that. You need to switch up on your day ones. Those people that you have known for a long time that let's be honest, they don't have the same goals as you. They have normal life aspirations of, maybe getting married and having 2.2 kids, and, they're flat broke and they're just kind of fucking around, getting drunk, getting high, this kind of bullshit. Yeah, switch up on those motherfuckers. Seriously, get them out of your life, right? If these people are not in service of your long-term goals and where you want to be in life, you got to get them out of there. Seriously. And here's the thing, you guys think like everybody feels bad about this notion of like switching up or changing, and I say switch up on your day ones because it's just kind of funny, but honestly, all I'm saying is just like stop spending time with people who are just not helping you grow. And here's the thing, these people, for the most part, have never actually been through shit with you. You think these guys are like your dogs and they're loyal to the fucking core and they're going to be with you till the end, guys. Like, I've been through shit in my life where like it was easy to turn your back on me. And I found that most people did turn their back on me. And this is what you're going to find because it's just human nature. People are not really as solid as you think they are. And this is not a cynical thing. It's just, the same way that, when you go and start dating a girl for the first time, you fall helplessly in love with her and she breaks your heart, and then you learn about the truth of women. It's the same thing with friends, right? You'll find it's the same with everybody, right? It's the same in all these areas. So it's like once you figure that out with women that first time, that women really ain't shit, and like it's not about this fucking Cinderella love story bullshit. You're not supposed to be bitter about that. You're supposed to just accept reality and then act accordingly, and then you can have a great life. But the problem was you had a facade in your head. You had this fantasy that you were living in, and that was the real issue. And once you get rid of the fantasy, you can live your life accordingly, and you can still have a great life. It's the same with your friends. You've got this fantasy in your head that like these guys you've known since high school or some shit like that are like your dogs, and like they're just gonna be there till the fucking end. And it's just like that's not how it goes. And you'll find that out as soon as shit hits the fan for you. You'll find that most people are not solid. There'll be a couple people in your life who are really solid dudes who will have your back, but for the most part, they aren't going to have your back. And so you sitting around keeping these people in your life, it's holding you back because that becomes your routine, is seeing these people, the things you talk about with these people, and they just drag you down. Like, I don't want to talk to people who talk about politics anymore. I don't give a fuck. I had this phone call with this guy the other day. It was a couple weeks ago. Is this guy I'd known since high school, and I like the guy fine. Like, I don't talk to him very often, and we were talking for a while, and it was a good conversation, and then it just started going towards like politics and shit, and he agrees with me politically on a lot of stuff, but like I just felt in my gut, I was like, why am I talking to this guy about politics? You know what I mean? Like, he's not going where I'm going in life. He doesn't have the same goals as me. He doesn't have that drive. This is a complete waste of my fucking time. And it also pointed out to me that, like, really, if you want excellent things in life, if you find yourself doing shit that normal people are doing, then you're not going to be excellent, right? Excellent people don't talk about politics. Excellent people don't do drama and gossip and all this bullshit. And I had to figure this out for myself because I used to spend way too much time watching political shit, keeping up with that kind of shit. And I was like, this is just not what excellent people do. Like, great people do not do this shit. You know what I mean? And I had to cut that kind of stuff out. Again, that was a change in my routine. I changed that content I consumed. But my point with this is, like, I was talking to him, I was like, yeah, like, this is like not getting me anywhere. It's just getting me into the wrong state of consciousness. I'm not focused on my goals anymore. Now I'm thinking about politics. I'm like, why am I talking to this guy? You know what I mean? It's like, I got no beef with the guy, but I have no interest in maintaining that relationship. If he changes and he starts moving in the same direction as me, then great. Like, we can have a relationship and a friendship or whatever that is. But you guys got to understand, if people are not going where you want to go in life, like, you're going to split from them anyways. So cut them off. Seriously. And it doesn't have to be a dramatic fucking statement. In fact, it shouldn't be. It's not like you need to text these people and be like, hey, I'm switching up on you. I'm done with this shit. Just stop hanging out with them. When they hit you up, just tell them you're busy. Eventually they'll get the fucking hint. And they'll be upset about it, but that's their problem, not yours. You're not entitled. Like, they're not entitled to your life. You know what I'm saying? And so first thing you can do if you want to change your routine and change your life is switch up on your day ones. And what this is going to do for you is it's going to change the inputs going into your head, change the habitual way you behave, and it's going to allow you to start growing. You're going to go through a lonely period when you do this where you won't have friends, but you need that period so you can reconstruct yourself as a higher version of yourself. And once you do that, you will meet new friends. Like I said, I went out to Arizona, see this friend of mine, and this is a friend of mine I met several years ago. He's Kenny. His name's Kenny. I've talked about him on the channel before a few times. Me and him are really good friends, and I met him a few years ago, and I met some of his other friends that he knows out there, and it's like these people are people who are more aligned with where I'm trying to go in life. And it's like you can't meet those people if you're too busy linking with your day ones because you feel bad about it, but they're not really going where you want to go in life. They're just going to hold you back. You got to let those people go through the lonely chapter, build yourself, and then you find new friends. And this just, it reinforces this mindset, guys. When you're around people who are either ahead of you on the journey or on the same path as you on the journey and moving in the same direction and all that, it just completely changes the way you think. You start seeing different things as normal, right? Like to me, making $1 million a year feels normal. I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, why would that be difficult? It doesn't even feel weird to me. Like the average person, if you tell me you want to make 100 grand, they act like you're fucking like, who is this guy? Mr. Big Shot. He wants to make $100,000 a year. It's like, to me, $100,000 a year genuinely at this point is fucking chump change. Like it just doesn't mean shit to me at this point. Like I go out and like one of the places we went while I was in Arizona, it was called Global Ambassador. It's like this really nice hotel we were hanging out at doing some work. We had dinner there a couple times. And it's like all the cars there are Ferraris, Rolls Royces, all the women are hot. It's like everybody there's making money. You put yourself in these environments around people that you know and things like that. It just becomes your standard. And now I come back and I'm like, I don't want to talk to people who aren't thinking like this. If I talk to somebody who thinks that $100 for dinner is ridiculous, then I don't want to talk to them. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you can't get to that place mentally if you don't get out of your routine with these day ones who think fucking Taco Bell and smoking weed's the fucking move. You got to get these guys out of here, guys. Seriously. So if you want to change your life, you got to switch up on your day ones. I'm telling you. And I know people are going to get butthurt about that shit, but it's just the fucking truth. The second thing, take a trip with the intention of working on your future self. This is really key, that last part of that. So like I said, I took the trip to Arizona. I didn't go there like a normie goes on a vacation. You guys got to understand this. If you want to do well in life, you don't take vacations, you travel. And there's a big difference. A vacation is what like a normie person does who hates their life, right? Like you work some shit job you don't like, you don't get paid much, you get your 2 weeks paid vacation. You take that trip and you go get fucked up on a beach somewhere because you hate your life and you're basically escaping your life. What I'm talking about here is you take a trip with the express intention of focusing on being a better version of yourself on the trip. So like I said, I went on this trip and I worked like most of the time. And then when I wasn't working, was still training in the gym. I was meeting with people who had goals like me and maybe were ahead of me on the journey, things like that. I was doing things that put me in a higher place mentally, right? We're having nice dinners. We're doing cool shit, right? Like we went and shot guns and all that kind of stuff. And like you're staying at nice places, all these kinds of things. It's like it gets you into a completely different mind space, guys. Like I said, literally like $1 million a year feels like a fucking given to me at this point. I'm not there yet, but it genuinely just doesn't feel like I'm going to hit that number and I'll just be like, whatever. Like I genuinely don't think it'll mean that much to me at this point because it just feels like a given because you start to see it. And it's not just that you see the people living like that. That's a big part of it. But the other part is you see how it can be done because you're around people doing these kinds of things. You're like, oh, this is just like a path, right? So it's just like getting in shape. There's certain steps you got to take, right? And it's like if you put yourself around this kind of thing, it elevates your mindset. If you show up on a trip, you leave your hometown, you have completely left your routine existence, gone somewhere completely different with the express intention of operating like a better version of yourself. You go back to your area and you're just different. It literally takes about 3-4 days for this to really bake into your head. And then by the time it happens, you're just like, I can't operate like that old version of myself. Every time I go on a trip, I literally get done with it. And I'm like, I cannot live like I lived. And every time the bar just goes higher and higher and higher, my standards go higher and higher and higher. My expectations for everything that I'm going to tolerate in my life get higher and higher. I don't want to be around people who aren't talking big money. I don't want to be around people who don't take care of their health at this point. It's just like, you just, why? You know what I mean? And it's like those standards get higher and higher every time that you start leaving your routine and you take these trips. And so I would tell you, wherever you're at in your hometown, you need to get the fuck out of your hometown. You don't have to move permanently, but you need to take a week, bring your fucking laptop. If you want to work on an online business, bring your laptop. If you want to be a photographer, bring your fucking camera, get some fucking shots in. If you want to get in the gym, go to the nicest gym in that town that you travel to and go there for the week and train and eat right, do all that kind of stuff. And you will go back and you'll be like, this is way fucking better. Right? You want to just like, and I've talked about this before, you want to live frugally in your day-to-day life. And then when you go on a vacation, you want to raise the bar one level, right? So if you're used to a lifestyle that you're living off of $50K per year, when you go on the trip, you want to live like you're making 100. right? Spend a week living like you're making 100 grand. It will get you focused because you'll want that when you get back, and it'll get you locked in on going to the next level, and you'll start to have that expectation for yourself. I talked about it when I took the Dallas trip a month and a half ago or so. We drove a Maserati. That was the rental car we had. And I drove it, and it's just like it changed my mindset genuinely, because I was like, I feel like I belong in this car. I feel like I belong at this nice place. Like, this is the kind of person I need to be. And like my whole standard, my self-image changes because I go take this thing and get out of my routine, basically. And then I come back and I'm like, I need a better car. I need to start making more money. Like, I need to keep elevating. I'm a very motivated guy, but this shit just bakes into your head and makes you think completely different. If you want to change your life, take a fucking trip, not to be some normie and get fucked up on a beach like that. Like, you need to show up on a trip with the mentality of, I'm going to live like a better version of myself. I'm going to spend money like I'm making more than I'm really making. I'm going to train. I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to live like that better version of myself. And if you do it, you got to do this once or twice a year. It'll bake into your brain and you will completely elevate yourself. Your life will radically change. I'm telling you, if I had like, this is one of the top 5 biggest hacks I could give you. Seriously, spend money on nice trips. You do that, it will completely change your self-image. The third thing, buy something expensive. This goes along with this. A lot of you guys, and I get this, it's smart, right? You want to be frugal. Like I said, live frugally in your day-to-day life. But if you have never actually done something expensive, and I'm not talking about like, oh, it's expensive to go to Disney World. That's normie shit. I'm talking about like something actually like a luxury expensive thing. If you've never actually done it, it's hard for you to like really get your head around living like that. And you're stuck in this broke box. Basically, it's the brokey routine, right? You want to get into the rich routine. And one of the ways you can do this is buying something expensive. Buy a nice jacket. Buy a new car, whatever it is. Like, just buy something. I'm not saying like do this responsibly, but you'll find that you can afford something that's nicer than you're used to, right? Go buy a nice fucking dinner. Just do something that puts you, whatever it is for you, something that clicks. For me, it's dinners and cars. Those are the 2 big ones for me. If I spend $200 on a dinner, it does something for my mindset. Donald Trump talked about a friend of his who always had to fly first class for his mindset. If that's what works for you, I don't give a shit about first class that much. But if first class works for you, buy a first class plane ticket. If it's clothes for you, buy the nice pair of shoes, buy the fucking nice jacket, whatever it is. Get a nice place to live that's a bit more expensive than you normally would get. Whatever it is, you need to do something, buy something expensive that makes a statement to you. It's something that you literally buy the thing and it makes you feel like you're a different person. Right? Like for me, like driving a luxury car makes me feel different. Spending a lot of money on a very nice dinner makes me think about myself differently. Whatever that is for you, something that tells your subconscious, because what we're trying to do here is basically reprogram you to think different and see yourself as better than you currently are. That's what we're trying to do here. If buying a first class plane ticket makes you feel like you belong, then do that shit. If having a Benz instead of a fucking Honda does that for you, do it. As long as you can afford it, right? I'm not saying go into debt for some stupid shit. There's a fucking fine line to this between being a retard and using this for self-improvement. But this is a huge self-improvement hack, guys. Is like, you've got to understand, like, this is basically like real life visualization. Like, self-improvement's been big on visualization forever. I'm telling you to visualize in real life. Put some fucking nice shit in your life and you will start acting like you deserve it. And then you will start working harder. Maybe this is just me because I'm motivated. If you're lazy as fuck, maybe this won't work for you. But I know for me, when I do these things, it works. I remember Christian Guzman, the guy who runs Alpha Land Gym, talking about this. He said he had a friend of his who was going to buy an Audi R8, and he asked Christian, he's like, you think I should get the car? And he was like, yeah, do it, because as soon as you do it, you're going to start making more money to make up for it. And I've found that to be true in everything I've done in my life. When I moved into a new apartment, I suddenly just started elevating my standards for myself. When I take these trips and my standards go up, guys. I'm telling you, this is all about changing your routine to change your life. Is about elevating your standards by doing things. We've cut the shitty friends out who have you in a low standard. You've taken this nice luxury trip that gets your mindset in a new place. Now you're buying something expensive that gets you in the mindset of being a better version of yourself. That's really the hack with this. The fourth thing, start shopping at higher quality places. Stop going to Walmart, go to Target. Stop going to the dollar fucking grocery store, go to Whole Foods. Like, get the nice food. This is going to make you feel better anyways. But also, again, you're surrounded by wealth. You're surrounded by money. You're surrounded by people living better. This just goes into your head. And like, This isn't just about money. What happens when you do this is like you treat yourself with self-respect, and people who have self-respect usually take care of their health too, right? You go to Whole Foods, you start thinking, I deserve better out of life, and now you're like, I need to go to the gym because I look like a fucking slob, and that's unacceptable because I'm the shit, right? You want to start developing that mentality, and this just bakes into everything. It bakes into how you talk to women. It bakes into how you meet people. Seriously, like, they've done studies on this where people were doing cold calls. So like the other person on the other side of the phone didn't even know what this person was wearing, and they had them wear 3 different outfits. First, they had them wear like a fucking baggy t-shirt that didn't look good, that they didn't feel confident in. Next, they had them wear some normal clothes, and then the third time they had them wear a suit. And the people who wore a suit closed more deals than the people wearing the baggy t-shirt or the normal outfit. And the people wearing the normal outfit closed more than the people in the baggy t-shirts, because how you dress shows up in your confidence and how you carry yourself and your mentality. So even when the other person can't even see you, it still registers and you still do better. This is what this is about. You need to put yourself in a position where you're carrying yourself like a better version of yourself. Buy something expensive, go to nice places, do these kinds of things, go on an expensive trip, and get the people out of your life who are not on path with where you're trying to go. This is really the game. And the last thing that I had down here, go to the nicest gym in your town, especially if you're somebody who's trying to get your fitness right, which all of you guys should be taking your training seriously. Go to a nice fucking gym. Get out of the Planet Fitness with the normies and the fucking old ladies and all that bullshit. Go to the nice gym. Seriously, like most of you guys, if you live in a city, there is a gym there that is for the rich people. Seriously, go to that gym. I'm telling you, pay the extra money for it. This is a game changer for your mindset, guys. I go to the most expensive gym in my town. And it's like, one, you meet people who are doing well, which if you're in business and doing things, or even if you're just like, it could be real estate, it could be sales, it could be whatever. Like, you meet people who can give you a leg up in life because these other people are doing well financially too. You're around people who, if they're willing to pay for the nice gym, they're in better shape. So now your standard for fitness goes up. Like, there are guys in my gym, like the average person is 26% body fat, fat slob, doesn't train at all. But there are people in my gym who are even more jacked than me. Right. And so like my physique just feels normal to me. Like, I don't even think it's that outrageous. It just feels like a given that this is how I look because I'm surrounded by people. I don't talk to people who don't have this kind of mentality with their fitness. Right. And so I just feel like my physique's pretty fucking basic, genuinely. Like, I mean, I know I have a good physique, but like, I'm just around enough people that are also in good shape that this feels like a given. And so go to the expensive gym. This will elevate your mindset. You're trying to train yourself. Most of you guys have a self-esteem problem because you grew up on the wrong side of the train tracks with your brokey parents telling you about how shit's expensive and money doesn't grow on trees and all this kind of stuff. And you got bullied in high school, and like, you have this fucking low self-esteem problem, and you need to fix this issue by cutting out the shit people and then doing some shit to make yourself realize you deserve better. Go to the nice gym, have an expensive piece of jewelry, a jacket, whatever it is, have a nice car, go on a nice trip, shop at nice places. It bakes into your brain, guys. I'm telling you, you will make more money doing this, and it will just ooze into every other area of your life. How I carry myself, like, guys, the most riz that I ever have with girls is when I'm doing some expensive shit. Seriously, like, I just start feeling like the shit. And so I just start talking crap to girls. I don't give a fuck, right? I'm rolling up to a nice place in a nice car. I just dropped some fucking money on some shit. I just start acting like that dude. I just do. It's just baked into you, right? It's the same with like fitness goals. You hit a fucking PR in the gym, you're more confident. This is how this works. You want to start giving yourself this edge, this confidence, this thing that makes you feel like you deserve good in life. Most of you guys don't actually deep down think you deserve great things in life. When you do this kind of stuff, you start feeling like, nah, I deserve better. I am on this level. I belong here. And like, you'll bake into this as like a normal standard, and your performance will rise as a result, and you will become a better version of yourself. So that breaks it down, guys. Switch up your routine and you can completely change your life. Your life is not going to change until you change these routine things. You got to get out of your current environment, do some shit to carry yourself with a new mentality, like a better version of yourself, and I promise your life will start to change. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll talk to you later.